everyone. Good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. By this time tomorrow, Mandate 2024 will have been officially announced. All exit polls have given us a broad direction in which June 4th is headed. The BJP-led NDA is bettering its tally from last time and setting the stage for a third term for Prime Minister Modi. The opposition India, of course, has dismissed these numbers, calling them Modi media poll. Now, agreed that exit polls do have a checkered past. In 2004, if you remember, they were wildly off the mark when they had predicted a win for Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And, well, the UPA was subsequently sworn in. But be that as it may, the BJP was always expected to win this election. And if they do, there should be no surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next 1 hour, we are taking a close look at the numbers with pollsters and analysts and looking at how this election changes India's politics. But first, very quickly, a look at the big takeaways from the exit polls. Number one, this is obvious. The BJP and the NDA are bettering their tally from the present 358 to 373. For 2019, if you're confused about the number, I've calculated the alliance strength based on the 2024 dynamic. Essentially, I've also calculated the allies who weren't there last time but have joined the alliance in 2024. Question is, will it be 400 par? Well, two pollsters have predicted if it happens, it'll be a massive psychological edge for the BJP. 400 par has only happened once in India's history with Rajiv Gandhi in 1984, as you know. The second big takeaway, ladies and gentlemen, the BJP is breaking new ground in South and East India. In Bengal, in Odisha, it is doing much better than the ruling dispensation. In Tamil Nadu and Kerala, where it is expected to open its account, and in Telangana, it is now expected to do better than the ruling Congress or even the BRS. It will essentially, in Telangana, be the first amongst equals. The third big takeaway, it is holding ground in the Hindi heartland that it usually sweeps. Its retention rate is 85%, which is very, very good. In fact, in Uttar Pradesh, it is expected to go up a few seats. Though in Rajasthan, a clean sweep like last time is unlikely. The Congress is getting a few seats there. The fourth big takeaway, the BJP has replaced the Congress and regional parties as the primary opposition in states in the south and east, other than Kerala. The Kerala story is turning out to be interesting. And lastly, if exit poll results hold tomorrow, then expansion plans for parties like the TMC and the Aam Aadmi Party will be put on hold. If there is a challenger at home, you need to deal with him or her first and manage to survive. Only then can you expand. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm dividing this show into three parts, 20-minute chunks. First, we are looking at the national picture, then the southern frontier, and finally, the eastern end. Let me quickly introduce my guest to you this evening. Jay Murg is joining us on the broadcast. He's a cephalogist joining us on the broadcast. Thank you very much for being here. Vinod Sharma is a senior journalist. Tushar Gupta and Tehseen Poonawala will be joining us in just a bit as well. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Jay Murg, any other takeaway that we may have missed?
No, I think you perfectly summarized it. The most important thing is that the BJP is now having a sort of backbone of its own. In a sense, you can have anti-incumbency cycles, you can have addition and depletion of allies, but a basic minimum tally does remain all the time. So I think that's the first thing, just to qualify your take home. That certainly seems to be happening. I think the other big story, which you already enunciated, is the BJP fortifying its hold in the south. Let's just give it a little more in terms of simple numbers for our viewers. There are 5 states in South India, of which, if we go by the polls, in 3 of them, Karnataka, Telangana, and Andhra, either the BJP or its alliance NDA is in the pole position now, right? 3 out of 5. In the other 2, in Tamil Nadu, it is expected to at least pip past the AIA-DMK to become the opposing force to the DMK. I mean, its vote share, you know, in fact, yesterday we were having a conversation with one of the analysts from Tamil Nadu, and he said in a lot of constituencies where there's the DMK at number 1, they're expecting the BJP to be there at number 2, though it's not winning the seat, but it's number 2. Similarly, in Kerala, the BJP has actually nibbled away at the Hindu vote of the LDF. And that is actually creating a situation which in the short run might mean a UDF sweep, but in the long run might mean the LDF being phased out and the BJP emerging as the other pole in Kerala in the long run, not in the short run. But the foundations, the early tea leaves are seen across in Kerala and Tamil Nadu as well. So I think that, as you said, is the broader headline of this election.
You know, Kerala we'll talk about later because the national polls, exit polls are saying something and the regional exit polls are saying something. The regional exit polls are saying maybe their vote share increases, but fact is that the BJP will have to wait to open its account. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Before I get in Vinod Sharma and Tushar Gupta, I quickly want to ask you, did anyone see a wave? I mean, the only wave I saw was a heat wave. Of course, every journalist from the ground came back and saying the BJP is in pole position, they are going to win. Upar niche kitna hota hai, no one knows. But did you see a wave as this election began? There was no talk of a wave at least. But by the looks of it now, there clearly was one.
I think what has happened is that the BJP has consolidated its constituency. So there isn't as much of a brouhaha or a shouting, but there is a constant and silent set of voters who come out and wave. Let me give you a historic parallel. The left front won West Bengal for elections until 2011 from 77.
Correct.
वो हर बार wave नहीं होता था. Right? But there was that consistency which was there.
So this is essentially the stability and consistency of a marriage that is already 10 years old. 7-year age par ho gaya hai.
So the thing is, you're not looking for a wave, but you're certainly looking for manifestation of consistency, and that is what has come out.
So there was no wave, but this is just BJP's voters sticking to it and the BJP managing to convince some other voters we are good for the country.
Absolutely. Some went out, some came in, but the consistent block was huge and substantial, and it held through.
Chalo. Vinod Sharma, how are you looking at the numbers? I know the opposition is calling these exit poll numbers sarkari numbers. They are calling these numbers Modi media ke numbers and Modi media Modi polls, etc., etc. But I think the broad indication is all there.
Well, I think the opposition has a right to be cynical. Without cynicism, democracy doesn't survive. And I think that agreeing to everything that comes out, these are projections, Shreya. These are not final numbers by any stretch of imagination. And I can't really imagine BJP winning 10 seats as Chanakya gives them in Tamil Nadu. I just can't imagine. I mean, just if 10 seats come out in BJP's account in Tamil Nadu, then it will be an earthquake. And now you're saying that BJP will replace AIADMK as the principal opposition in that state. Could be possible in terms of in terms of vote share. But what vote share will they have? And how much are they taking away from AIADMK? And where are they taking? Where are the new constituents coming from in the BJP share? You see, till now, the BJP has been a party of Tamilian Brahmins, mostly Brahmins in Tamil Nadu. It hasn't had really much traction amongst other communities, especially those which so-called Dravidian vote. Now, I'll have to want to see that how much of that chunk has gone in their favor. Secondly, I want to ask the psephologists, from where is the BJP getting 4 seats in Punjab? I want to know the names of those constituencies. Please, somebody, please enlighten me. You see, just throwing up numbers and coming to conclusions doesn't really work.
Yeah, sure. No, certainly, I would like to nuance these points. So first of all, the poll yesterday broadcast on Times Now is not my poll, so I cannot vouch for. I mean, I cannot explain the numbers that they have. I can explain what I have seen. So Punjab, I will leave out. That's a number. Maybe somebody from there, actually from that agency, can tell what happened. But regards your question to Tamil Nadu, what I have observed, I will be able to give you some answers. Now, in Tamil Nadu, the BJP has actually built a much more broader coalition than what it was before. If you talk only in terms of communities, Gaundars, the community that Mr. Annamalai himself comes from, they have the alliance partner PMK, which pools in a whole lot of one-year vote. Then you have film actor Sarath Kumar and his wife and the BJP's oldest base in southern Tamil Nadu, which is the Nadar community, right? So it's got a sort of middle caste grouping of its own now, like the other Dravidian blocks. It also has derived a substantial following among the scheduled castes. Mr. L. Murugan, the union minister, is from the scheduled caste. They actually, in southern Tamil Nadu, they have worked with a lot of the scheduled caste groups. In the Tenkasi seat, which is reserved for the scheduled caste, one of the BJP candidates is John Pandian, who is a Dalit activist and a Christian. So I think, to be fair to them, they've worked on broad-basing that umbrella.
So, and it's just not just in Tamil Nadu. While we talk about the India Alliance and we talk about the Gadbandhan in the opposition, point is there has been a Gadbandhan in the NDA as well. These small parties, region-wise, the BJP has gone and stitched them together in the alliance. After all, याद है क्या हुआ था? चिराग पासवान से घर से ही निकाल दिया था उनको तो उसके बाद सीधे घर ले आए उन, stitching
this philosophy
small parties together in the alliance has
worked. See, what happens with that is the marginal 5 to 10% extra vote that you need in an election to produce something like a landslide or a complete stronghold answer is what BJP gets by plucking these small parties. Therefore, in spite of having its own consistent vote share, it has shown a tendency to keep roping in these small parties all the time. Every election you find 5-6 new small parties with them. Maybe 3-4 have gone, 5-6 new smaller parties have come. So this is a beautiful cephalological strategy where the जो anti-incumbency में शायद 6-7% वोट बाहर जाता होगा वो हमेशा आप उसको compensate कर लेते हो.
लेकिन Mr. Sharma, given the numbers of the exit poll, you may believe them, may not believe them, but given the numbers of the exit poll, it seems there was no anti-incumbency. If the BJP and its allies are bettering their tally.
You see, I was never arguing that the India alliance is going to come to power. My projection was that the Bharatiya Janata Party will be right-sized and restored to power. With not the kind of numbers they were looking for. And asking for these kinds of numbers made no political sense to someone like me. Because in this country, there needs to be adequate opposition space. Why should any political party be seeking 400 in a house of 500 and odd? Why? For what reason? You see, these questions need to be posed. It is not just that BJP. No, the question is, they are giving BJP huge numbers in Telangana. They are giving BJP huge numbers in Karnataka. They are giving BJP huge numbers, disproportionate numbers in Haryana. I mean, one has traveled these areas, and one really can't reconcile to the idea that the Bharatiya Janata Party, some people are even given majority of seats to Bharatiya Janata Party in Haryana. It makes no sense. And 4 seats in Punjab. Where do I find those seats? I come from that state. So, I mean, even a small bit of...
But here's the point. You talk about Karnataka.
Yes.
You talk of Karnataka, but the BJP already had 25.
That
Unko
is true.
28 ka to projection hai, sir. Fact is that in states like Karnataka, the BJP in any case is strong.
They retaining 25 out of 28 is a little surprising. And also because Prajaval's constituency went to elections before the scandal broke out, and he is winning. You see, can you imagine that Prajaval is going to win his seat? It seems, according to the projections by some cephalogists. I am saying that there had to be some balance in the distribution of seats that they win after these elections in Karnataka. But they are saying they are retaining the status quo. The status quo is maintained. In fact, they are increasing their numbers. See, 28 to 25, almost the same status quo. Now, the question is that I don't understand how they can get these numbers in Karnataka. I don't understand how they can get the kind of numbers they are seeking in Kerala, 3-4 seats in Kerala. I mean, Rajiv Chandrasekhar is defeating Mr. Shashi Tharoor and Trivandrum. I mean, that's being said. And they're really going to win the Kannur seat, together with one more seat. No, too much of generosity towards the BJP. The conservative estimates in favor of the
Kerala,
ruling
even
party
I'm finding it hard to digest, frankly. No, Kerala, I agree with you because the Kerala numbers, even I find it a little hard to digest. Tushar, would you want to come in here? Specifically, I mean, I don't want to speak about the south or the east or south or the east, particularly right now in the top end. I want to speak about the larger picture. When you look at the numbers coming in, Mr. Vinod Mehta is saying, look, take them with a pinch of salt because there's a
Vinod
bit of an
Sharma.
exaggeration in these
Mehta
numbers. The
is
broad
wrong.
direction may be correct. वही तो बोला नहीं विनोद
Mehta
शर्मा ही तो
बोल दिया.
बोला
Mehta
सर
बोला,
I
Mehta.
mean yeah
Mehta बोल दिया.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Tushar, would you want to come in here? I don't think it was anyone's contention that the India bloc is winning this election. मतलब वो 295 अपना projection कर रहे हैं, but it is no one's contention that they were winning this election. But there is also some analysis that tells us that the Congress actually will better its tally by about 12%. Its vote share will go up by 12%. It may not translate into much as far as seats are concerned. But how do you read the numbers that have come in so far?
The numbers look quite believable. I cannot imagine what the surprise is all about. To answer your question, was there ever a wave? See, a wave is always witnessed when the people want a change in government. You had a wave in 2014. You had a wave in 2004. Though I'm too young to remember that election of 2004, but there was a certain degree of a wave. People wanted a change. In 2014, we saw a wave. In 2017, in Uttar Pradesh, we saw a wave. You not necessarily see a wave every time a government has to be retained or is not to be voted out, and that is what happened in this election. I also said on the show the other day that nothing has changed between the first and the final phase of this election. The voter had made up their minds way before April 19 as to where they're going. Nothing changed in May, nothing changed in June in the final phase as well, and nothing is going to change tomorrow in terms of the government. The numbers are quite believable. What I'm also not surprised by is why is there this sort of an response to this 330 plus number for the BJP, which is possible. I'm not saying it's certain, but it's possible. They're doing well in Odisha. They're doing well in Telangana. Telangana, they've won 4 seats last time. So if they end up with 8 or 9 seats, I don't think it's disproportional or it's appalling by any stretch of imagination. In West Bengal, they went from 17% in 2014 to 40% in 2019. So if they up their vote share by 4 percentage point in Bengal this time, I don't think I'll be surprised. In Tamil Nadu and Kerala, I'm not saying, I don't think every exit poll is giving them 10 seats in Tamil Nadu. Some of them are giving them 1 or 2 seats as well. But even a single seat in Tamil Nadu would be the equivalent of a political earthquake if the BJP manages 1 seat. In Kerala, Thrissur seat of Suresh Gopi is definitely coming to the BJP. Every exit poll, be it a 330, be it a 390, is giving it to the BJP. So I don't understand where this sort of a response
National
how can
exit
they win
poll.
this many seats. Let's also talk about Haryana. Haryana, I heard that someone said there's a disproportional seat, or how can they win? Look, you had the entire farm agitation in 2022. UP, the western belt of UP, which went to elections in the first place, I'm talking about the state assembly elections, overwhelmingly voted for the BJP. So I don't see where the surprise is coming from. He's talking about Punjab. The speaker before me, Praneeth Kaur, was a Congress candidate. She's been retaining Patiala for years now, with the exception of 2014. She is now a BJP candidate from Patiala. Gurdaspur and Hoshiarpur were won by the BJP last time. Ludhiana and Jalandhar now have BJP candidates, which have been imported from other parties, but they are now BJP candidates. So 4 seats or 5 seats in a 4-way contest in Punjab, where anything can go wrong with the stretch of margins. That is, it's not disproportional or it's not appalling by any stretch of imagination. The final point, Shreya, I heard that why should any party seek 400 seats? Why not? It's not like no party has ever secured 400 seats in the electoral history of India. Rajiv Gandhi won it in 1984, though it was a sympathy election, but he won it constitutionally fair and square. So I don't see where this perversive logic or this regressive logic comes from that, how can some party seek 400 seats? And finally, the responsibility of this country having an opposition is the job of the opposition. If Rahul Gandhi cannot manage to put a flock together after winning Karnataka for 1 year, that is his problem, not that of the BJP. I remember Mr. Vinod Sharma in a separate debate he had discussed that, like 1977, the parties must come together, form an alliance, and that is where they have a shot at defeating the BJP. And this was around 6 months ago. If in 6 months the parties have not been able to come together, not been able to stitch an alliance, that's not the problem of the BJP. Now, because of the opposition's political foolishness or because of the personality of Prime Minister, either way, if the BJP wins fair and square 400 seats, I don't think it's their problem where the opposition of this country is.
Very quickly then, Tehseen Poonawalla, what's the larger picture when it comes to the India alliance? The alliance really didn't come together as it should have come together. I mean, you have, we know what happened in the state of West Bengal where Mamata Banerjee decided to march on her own drumbeat. You have the Aam Aadmi Party that said, chalo Punjab mein hum akele hi chunav lad lenge. So the alliance didn't, I mean, I'm not saying it's the alliance not coming together, which is why the BJP and the NDA are seeing the sort of numbers that they are. The fact is that, you know, ultimately when you're going to cast your vote, what are you thinking? Yes, to some extent you can think I'm looking at my MP, I'm selecting my MP, but for most of us it will be who's going to rule this country. And most people in this country still think that Prime Minister Modi is still the best bet to lead this country. Do you agree with me or not? And that's exactly what these numbers are showing. 400 par shayad na ho, but Modi ji is definitely par for a third term.
Shreya, thank you so much for having me on the show. Good evening to you, to all my fellow panelists, and to all the viewers. Let's divide this into three separate parts so we understand that how these elections, if these numbers are played out. Number one, let's bifurcate this data into various sections. So where the India alliance has tended to gain over the BJP is in the ST vote. They've got more ST fellow citizens voting for them. They've got the Muslims voting for them in large numbers, which is no surprise. But where they have lost out is the OBC that has gone en masse with the BJP. It seems to be an overwhelming majority going to the BJP. Now, the India alliance should be very worried. Now, the Congress, let me put it for the Congress, should be very worried. Because the Congress is an alliance with regional partners that were predominantly OBC parties. And their OBC vote still seems to have gone to the BJP. That's one. Number two, in the younger demographic, seems to have gone with the India alliance, that is between 18 to 25, 25 to 30, but above that, they seem to be going with Prime Minister Modi. Now, we know India is a middle-aged and aging population. It's no longer a young population. So they've got a bulk of their votes. And that is globally the trend. Younger people tend to vote liberal. As you grow older, you tend to vote the more conservative party. That's a global trend. You tend to stick by that. But where the India alliance lost out on is two places. Women vote. Women generally tend to vote for liberal parties. But what's happened in the India alliance data, the data that I'm seeing out here so far is, while they have gained in women voters, the women voters still overwhelmingly is a large percentage, almost 8 or 9 percentage across various polls, came to favor Prime Minister Modi. They've lost there. They've lost the upper caste vote, the so-called forward vote. Those have gone overwhelmingly to the BJP. So when you break this down, you realize that the tribal votes have gone with the BJP. So you realize the last section of vote, when you break it down, seems to have gone with the BJP, with the exception of younger voters, which are very few, Muslims, and the ST. Now that makes it very interesting. Now this makes...
Sure.
Sorry. Can I complete? Now this
I think what most of us... Okay, go ahead.
Rahul Gandhi kept saying, "Jitni abadi utna haq, jitni sankhya bhai, utni hissedari." Despite that, if OBCs have not stuck to Congress and the regional parties, you have to relook at that and wonder whether Mandal politics will continue to be effective any further. That's the first learning for me as a political student. But the second learning, look, surveys say the biggest problem was unemployment, and the biggest problem was lack of opportunity and ability. Despite that, those who claim to be that problem seem to have favored the BJP over the India alliance. That means the India alliance did not build a trust factor on how they will solve the problem. This is something I've been saying repeatedly on the show, Shreya. I understand the problem as a voter. This is the problem. How will I solve the problem for my voter is what has to be communicated. And this is where I would like to end. I think the one mistake the India alliance made, or the Congress media department in particular, is this. They fought this election on social media, not on the ground. Because unless your communication to the last man standing in the line or last woman standing in the line is absolutely clear on how you will transform their lives, you cannot win an election. The last man standing in the line must know how his or her life will be transformed. I think this is where the Congress and its media department lost the election.
The big difference maker between the 2019 results and the exit poll predictions for 2024 appears to be the 5 states that make up South India. And from the looks of it, this seems to be the biggest success story for the BJP. Let's start with Tamil Nadu. The BJP looks to open its account for the first time as the senior party in its alliance and more crucially end its reliance on the Dravidian Big Two. Led by Firebrand leader Annamalai, the party is set to make inroads against the DMK-Congress combination and effectively replace AIA-DMK as the #1 opposition party. In the past, the BJP has had a couple of seats in Tamil Nadu, but nothing last time. Karnataka, the one state where the BJP has historically had a base, well, the party is expected to reverse the electoral loss in the state elections, and together with its ally, the JDS, is expected to sweep the state. Telangana represents another big state for the BJP, with the party forecast to go into a tight fight with the Congress in the state. This emergence comes at the cost of the BRS, which is set to be replaced as a principal party. Then, in neighbouring Andhra Pradesh, the BJP's alliance with the TDP and the Janasena is set to be the big winner, both in the Lok Sabha and the Assembly elections, with the Congress staring at decimation. And finally, the biggest surprise is from Kerala, where the poll of polls expects the BJP to open its account for the first time ever and perhaps even overtake the LDF as the #2 party to the UDF in the state. Many people will say take that with a pinch of salt. I'm fairly certain Annie Raja, who's joining us on the broadcast, is going to say that as well. Annie Raja, thank you very much. You fought, of course, the election in Wayanad against Rahul Gandhi. Can I start by asking you which of these exit polls you believe? Because as far as Kerala is concerned, the national polls seem to be suggesting that the BJP will be opening its account, maybe getting even 2 to 3 seats. Local exit polls seem to be saying that though their vote share will increase a bit, they will have to wait to open their account. Which one of these exit polls do you believe?
No, after the last vote is polled, that means after the last phase of the election and till the result, there must be some activity about election. So in that way, the exit poll and the debate and discussion on that is a very good thing. Otherwise, of course, you said that the local channels exit poll says that BJP won't get. BJP will have to wait, and I go with them because that is a local channel, and they must have interacted with the people in their own language, and so many things are there. And not only that, Kerala is a land for democracy and secularism. There is no space for the communal fascist forces, and that is in whether the land of Kerala or the minds of people of Kerala. They are not for the communal fascist forces, but for democracy and secularism.
But ma'am, whichever exit poll you look at, local or national, the picture is not very good for your party, the left.
No, let the results come. That is what I would like to wait till the last vote is counted. But by saying so, last time we have seen that it was a huge victory for UDF, and we got the left got only 1 seat. So this time it will not be the case. This time the left front will perform much better than the last election, and we are hopeful that we will have a very decent and very good number.
Would you want to hazard a prediction for your own seat, Wayanad? Exit polls seems to suggest that Rahul Gandhi is winning this one hands down. Would it have been better for the alliance to have stuck together and probably just placed one candidate, Rahul Gandhi, in this election?
No, the thing is that as a candidate, as a left front candidate, I have contested to win the seat, and the whole campaign was not for a friendly contest or something like, or to spend some time in Wayanad, or it was not like that. It was a political contest, and our campaign was purely on political issues, and because you are all predicting it is because of Rahul, all channels are in favor of that candidate, UDF candidate, not the LDF candidate. But I'm hopeful the people of Wayanad, the voters are also very much enthusiastic and they are also hopeful that the left candidate will win.
Annie Raja, thank you very much and best of luck for tomorrow. JVC is joining us on the broadcast. Hi, JVC. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very
Good
much.
evening.
I think we should start with Kerala. Jay?
Yeah, we should.
na?
We should.
Obviously, yes.
Matlab 2-3 for the BJP in Kerala. You know, there was you remember that Hajmola ad in which you had Kapil Dev, ye baat zara hazam nahi hui. That is, I mean, that's the sense that everyone seems to be expressing, especially the local exit polls. Mathrubhumi has done an exit poll, for example.
Right.
They're saying the BJP will have to wait to open its account. Ye 2-3 seats are kahan se rahi hain in Kerala?
See, let us understand one thing. We have seen it since, say, probably 2014, is that the left citadels are slowly getting saffronized. We have seen it in Tripura. We have seen it in West Bengal, where the left has entirely moved towards and the same thing is going to happen in Kerala. I'll give you an example, a microsome example I'll give you in a place called Bagepalli, which is just outside of Bangalore, comes under Chikballapur parliamentary constituency. Bagepalli in 2018 assembly elections, BJP had 2.45% vote share. In 2019 Lok Sabha election, courtesy Modi wave, the candidate there got around 48% of vote share. And it was actually a left stronghold. And in 2023 assembly election, personally I worked in this constituency, from 2-point change percentage, in 2023, BJP got 35.7%. Now, what does it show? Where there was a left, the red can become a saffron very easily. So that's what is happening as far as Kerala is concerned.
But the left is the ruling dispensation in the state of Kerala.
I think post Pinayani
Are you telling me that in the state of Kerala, when there is a left ruling dispensation, the BJP will become the second largest party as far as Lok Sabha vote shares is concerned?
There is a very good possibility that BJP could well become the second largest party in this Lok Sabha elections. But I'm not saying that it is going to become the second largest party immediately, say probably come 2026 assembly election. But I see it by 2031, the contest is going to be between Congress and the BJP as far as Kerala is concerned. Post Pinayani Vijayan, you will see the saffron party occupying the red space. And we've already seen it in Kollam. In Kollam, the ex-CPM office is now the BJP office. We have seen that in action. And where is it coming from? See, I'll give you 6 seats where BJP is in contest as far as Kerala is concerned. And all these 6 seats, BJP will get more than a double digit. And in all probability, they will get back their deposits in all the 6 seats and they will score probably 2 to 3 victories. Palakkad, Alappuzha, Athingal, Pathanamthitta, Thiruvananthapuram, Thrissur. 6 seats. How many of them they're going to win? We don't know. Because there can always be a collaboration between UDF and LDF. I hope in Thiruvananthapuram this time it did not happen. Because both in 2014 and 2019, there was a syndicate arrangement which happened between LDF and UDF. And even in 2019, it happened at Thrissur. I hope it doesn't happen. As long as it doesn't happen, I can tell you Kerala is going to be the sunrise state for BJP.
Tamil Nadu? There are some hopes from Tamil Nadu as well.
Look,
And we know that the Prime Minister has worked very, very hard in Tamil Nadu. Annamalai has led from the front. You have the Prime Minister backing him. Last time the DMK had swept the elections. This time also the DMK will sweep the elections. But the BJP actually going on to win a couple of seats, more than a couple of seats from zero, that's quite a big ask.
Tamil Nadu, JVC and I have been having a big confabulation since yesterday and we are more or less in consensus. See, if you take the splinter faction of the AIADMK, AMMK, which contested the last election, unfortunately they didn't get a symbol, they all went as independents. That easily adds up to 5.5% vote. By some measures, it's 8% vote. That faction is with the BJP now. The Patali Makkal Kachi and the BJP on their own have put together at least 10%, right, JVC? At least together they have to be at least 10.
Definitely, yes.
To that you add the efforts of Mr. Annamalai, you add this AIADMK faction, you take a lot of the regional strong leaders whom the BJP has taken. Devanathan Yadav, AC Shanmugam, Parivendar of Perambalur. Each one of these guys, you may write them off saying they are one constituency, but within their constituency, they are within the one or two top leaders. So they are also going to bring some votes.
Because I've worked in Tamil Nadu since January 15th of 2024 till probably the last Thursday when I came back to Hyderabad. I can tell you with confidence what is the social coalition they have built. The Mukkulathur community stood with AIADMK thick and thin from the time MGR was there. Now the Mukkulathur community as lock, stock and barrel shifted towards the BJP. And also the leaders like TTV Dinagaran, OPS are from the Mukkulathur community. And they are the ones who said, see, because Muthuramalinga Devar was the man who sent the people to Subhash Chandra Bose army. He said, nationalism and divinity are my two eyes. So that's an Hindutva culture is there, number one. Then they brought Nadar. Nadar is again a very significant community who got a lot of votes in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, Hindu Nadar. Because there's a Christian Nadar and Hindu Nadar, there's a polarization which is happening. Yadav votes, I can tell you 85% of Yadav votes are going to come to BJP. And in Tirunelveli, because of Yadav vote, the addition of Yadav. Devanathan Yadav is contesting in
Nainar Nagendran.
Yeah, Nainar Nagendran is going to win. And I declared this in February 13th or February 13th itself. I said Nainar Nagendran is winning.
So
and then you have
2 seats. 1 minute. Annamalai.
So see, Tirunelveli and Coimbatore, I believe that they've got a very good chance. Okay. Now, I would say that there are 7 seats where NDA has got a fantastic chance of winning. They are Tirunelveli, Coimbatore, Kanyakumari, Theni, Ramanathapuram, Vellore and Dharmapuri. 7 seats. And then you will have in central Chennai, which is the bastion of DMK, you will see Vinod Selvam getting more than 30%, and that's going to be an earthquake. Because unbelievable it's going to be.
By the way, the DMK spokesperson who was with us yesterday conceded, he conceded that in half the seats where DMK is fighting against BJP, BJP is going to come number 2. Now a DMK spokesperson sort of indirectly saying, they can come number 2 means they're assuming some strength.
And you have also, I'll just complete this, you also have seats like Pollachi, where you are, if my exit poll is true, in the heartland of Kongu, which is a Kongu Vellalar community, both Edapadi and Annamalai comes from the community. In Pollachi, if AIADMK is coming third, then I can tell you the political landscape of Tamil Nadu is going to be completely transformed by 24 hours tomorrow.
By the looks of it, in the next 24 hours, the political landscape of another state so definitely is changing. That is the state of Andhra Pradesh. I think, that's the state of Andhra Pradesh. And let me just welcome Kanak Medala Ravindra Kumar, who's spokesperson of the TDP, also a former MP of the Rajya Sabha, joining us on the broadcast. We also have Hafiz Khan, who's a YSRCP MLA, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Hafiz Khan, for obvious reasons, I'm going to start with you. Good evening and thank you very much for joining us. What do you make of these exit polls?
Good evening, everyone.
Depending on which one you believe, but the ones that I've seen, good evening. The ones I've seen seem to be suggesting a rout for you, sir. A complete rout, both in the assembly elections and the Lok Sabha elections.
That's a good question. Thank you for asking me that question, because a lot of people want clarification on that question as well. From what we believe and what we have worked in the last 5 years, our target has always been the poorest of the poor, the marginalized communities, the backward communities, the women folk, the students who are studying right from the school to degree, the farmers. So these are the sections of the society who are very silent right now, and they will be voting us in large. And most of the Andhra Pradesh is a rural zone, and rural economy has improved a lot. We have focused a lot on farming sector. We have spent a lot of money in welfare schemes. Around 2,70,000 crores of welfare has been done, wherein majorly, if I can tell you, we have brought a lot of reforms in education sector, healthcare sector, and in fact in agriculture sector.
But Mr. Khan, why is all of that not reflecting on our screens? But Mr. Khan, why is all of that not reflecting either in the assembly results or the Lok Sabha elections? Of course, you can argue that let's wait till tomorrow, but I think a broad sort of direction has been set by these exit polls.
They are all going to go wrong tomorrow. We will again sit down tomorrow, and I'm telling you, we are sweeping the state tomorrow. And that's because the kind of work that we have done on the ground, and our leader has told very clearly, if I have benefited to you in any form, then only you can vote for me or you can reject me. So that we are working, we have asked vote on the merit, and we have put lot of faith on all these classes which I just told you, from women folk to the rural folk to the farmers, to the students. So we have put a lot of to the backward classes, to the people who don't have voice. So we are hoping the voiceless
One of
people
the things
will show their voice with respect to vote, but they will not come out openly and tell, because these marginalized communities, they have this fear of not expressing because of fear of social fear and all that stuff. So we are hoping that there will be a great change of mindset with the people who have actually done Andhra Pradesh polls. They will all have to bite their words tomorrow.
Mr. Ravindra Kumar, you know, the fact is, a month before these elections, we know what happened with Chandrababu Naidu, right? He was put behind bars. By the projections that are on our screens, he's the next chief minister of the state. But Mr. Ravindra Kumar, would you want to come in as spokesperson of the TDP? The YSRCP spokesperson is saying, look, we have Labhartis as well. Only Prime Minister Modi doesn't have Labhartis. We have Labhartis as well. Our Labhartis are silent Labhartis, and they have voted for us. They are not telling pollsters kisko vote diya hai. But we are confident we are winning.
No, it's tomorrow is a counting, so they have to give boost up to the proposed counting agent. They are saying like that. Okay, forget about it. Now, with regard to the voting factor, I mean, voting various sections, all walks of the lives of the people of Andhra Pradesh have been suffered a lot for the last 5 years. The reason behind it, number one, under the guise of the welfare, nothing has been done in the state of Andhra Pradesh. No development, no infrastructural maintenance, and huge debts, more than 30 lakhs crores debts. Then arrest of all opposition leaders, including Chandrababu Naidu, and detained and put him behind bars for a period of 53 days for nothing. And that's the most, for the first time in the history of Andhra Pradesh, when Chandrababu Naidu was released on bail.
Okay.
For a traveling 150 kilometers, it took 16 hours. Entire crowd came on the streets to sympathize the Chandrababu Naidu, number one. Number two, all opposition leaders are put behind bars by implicating false cases. Number three, Polavaram project is totally abandoned. Number four, under the guise of reverse tendering. Number four, having admitted and promised in the state on the floor of the house, the capital has been destroyed, Amravati capital, under the guise of the theory of three capitals, and destroyed. Number six, under the guise of ban on liquor, the liquor, now the government has borrowed 8,000 crores by borrowing the income, future income generated to be under the liquor income, liquor selling. So these type of promises, the total promises made by the YSRCP, 85% failed, number one. Number two, no law and order. Number three, no construction, only destruction and
Mr. Kumar.
demolition. That is the trend is going on in Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, but that's not but that's not the only reason why big leaders lose elections. What went wrong for Jagan?
See,
And so terribly wrong that you're losing the assembly elections and you're being swept away in the Lok Sabha elections as well.
Clearly, if you see, I was in Andhra Pradesh between December to January, before I stepped into Tamil Nadu. I could see a huge urban apathy amongst the voters. Because the urban people felt, some of the reasons what he is talking about is absolutely true. This three capital theory. No, Andhra deserves, because Andhra is a soil for entrepreneurs. And today you can't travel in Andhra. The road infrastructure is horrible. Industries are not coming. You don't have a settled capital. It's 10 years and you don't have a settled capital. And you know, I can tell you, even Mr. Chandrababu Naidu was blamed. Because they gave the vote to Chandrababu Naidu, they gave a mandate to Chandrababu Naidu, hoping that he will create another Hyderabad in Andhra Pradesh in 2014. He failed to do so. Now this time, if Chandrababu Naidu is returning to power, my only request to him is, Andhra people deserve better. They are the most entrepreneurial spirit they have. And most, Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy, in the name of welfareism, has gone about giving doles like nobody's business. And has resulted in the treasury being empty. Tomorrow when Mr. Chandrababu Naidu takes the oath as the chief minister, if he declares a white paper, the economy of Andhra Pradesh would be in tatters. I can tell you that. The kind of debt they will be having, it will be in tatters.
Okay. So let's just move to the two states which have turned out to be extremely delicious. The south is, of course, always interesting. But from the south, we are now focusing to the east. This is the last part of our show. Now, this has long been an area of desired expansion for Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. We know this. But this is it seems it's finally bearing dividends this time. After almost a decade of sustained effort, the BJP is set to finally reach a breakthrough in 2024 by overtaking the Trinamool Congress as the single largest party in West Bengal. Even more surprisingly, exit polls are forecasting the BJP to replicate its Bengal performance in Odisha by bringing down Naveen Patnaik's bastion, which has endured for over 2 decades, 24 years, few days. And to complete the picture, both the BJP-led alliance in Bihar and Jharkhand are set to dominate the India bloc, representing a near-complete sweep for the Saffron Party in the east. Are you surprised with Bengal and Odisha? What are you more surprised with, Bengal or Odisha? Odisha, the BJP was expected to do well.
Yeah.
But in this case, in the assembly elections as well, if you look at the projections, it seems to be even Stevens. No one is in a, no one wants to hedge their bets and say BJP jeetne wala hai ya BJP jeetne wala hai.
Look, I think the projection of Mr. Pandian as a successor of Mr. Patnaik was a little premature.
But the chief minister came out and said he's not my successor. The people of Odisha will choose the successor of, choose my successor.
But the messaging or the positioning was certainly not that. I mean, you have a gentleman who's quitting his government job, going around with you everywhere, has lots of followers on Instagram, who's speaking the Odia language, right? Now look, Mr. Patnaik has done everything iconoclastic. He still doesn't read Odia script. He reads it from the Roman script, right? Now he's supposedly anointed a successor who is non-Odia. He's a Tamilian, right? So I think that's one thing which could have triggered something there. I think Bengal was waiting to happen. Sandesh Khali might be the Nandigram or Shingur moment of BJP. Can't say,
Do you think Sandesh Khali, my own sense is it isn't Sandesh Khali that did the trick for the BJP. Let Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay come here. Nilanjan, we were talking about this on Friday as well. Was it Sandesh Khali or was it the sustained push that the BJP has been making as far as the state of West Bengal is concerned?
Yeah, I think it is basically a very strong anti-incumbency against the Trinamool Congress. The image of being a very corrupt regime is possibly, if the exit polls turn out to be correct, is what actually, would have actually really gone against the Trinamool Congress. From my understanding, Sandesh Khali was a Delhi media issue. It was not such a very strong issue as far as locally is concerned. But the idea that, the Trinamool Congress has been in power since 2011, there is a certain amount of fatigue setting in. The kind of regime which was delivered during the left front government has really not altered. It was virtually like an outsourced company, just the heads changed, but the staff remained the same. That's what possibly happened with the Trinamool Congress, that the henchmen who were there, who were actually controlling the heartland of West Bengal, they remained very well entrenched. It's just their political bosses altered from the left front to the Trinamool Congress. So this kind of switch which happened has possibly now fatigue was reached if the exit polls turn out to be correct. And then if the BJP does get an opportunity to become the dominant party, and either in 2026 or maybe even before that, if situation leads to a situation where we have early polls, if the BJP comes back to power, comes to power in West Bengal, then it has to ensure that it does not make the same kind of mistake, the same kind of taking along the entrenched forces at the local grassroots levels along with it. That is the care which the BJP will have to take. Anyway, that's a fairly
Which means-
long-term thing. For the moment, my bet is that corruption.
Corruption. Tausif Ahmed Khan, which means that the battle for 2026 is still open.
You see, I'm surprised that Nilanjan Da even factored in a possibility that BJP might come to power. No, they are very far away. He being a
It can
Bengali, he
happen.
very well understands.
Never
He
say
just
never.
spoke about,
Because the BJP
No.
doesn't stop trying. We know that.
No, we are right now going with the exit poll results. Now, in 2021, these same set of exit poll results predicted that Trinamool will get around 140 seats, but they got 212. So there is some issue with the exit poll as far as Bengal is concerned. Now, while we acknowledge that throughout the last 2 years, BJP attacked Trinamool on the ground of corruption. But during the last 6 phase of election, you will see no mention of corruption anywhere. It was either Sandesh Khali, which was issue concerning only one island. It really did not resonate with the entire Bengali voters throughout the Bengal. Then it was either a Hindu-Muslim, it was either stop eating maash and machi. All this has gone against BJP. Where did they talk about corruption? Because they understand very well that if they talk about corruption, they will be apne pair mein kulhadi
they had
marenge,
spoken about
because
corruption.
BJP is headed by the by Suvendu Adhikari, and who is he? A
They
Trinamool
have spoken
turncoat
about
who is,
corruption. How
who's
are you
alleged to
saying
be
they
a corrupt
haven't
leader.
spoken about corruption?
No, they haven't. They talked about Sandesh Khali. They talked about
haven't we
Sheikh
seen,
Shah Jahan,
where-
and they
where-
talked about women rights. No, they talked about
No.
atrocities
My friend,
against
my
They
women.
have
friend,
spoken
my
about
friend,
Abhishek
my
Banerjee,
friend,
No
the
mention of
cattle
third
scam. They've
parties.
spoken about
friend
corruption a
was-
lot.
In election
my
rally, no
friend,
mention of
my
Kartik
friend,
Chatterjee.
my friend, how many crores was did the wardrobe have on Partha Chatterjee's house?
That was 2 years
And number
ago.
two, why was Partha Chatterjee removed? It's not about 2 years. Why did Trinamool Congress remove Partha Chatterjee, the number 2 leader of the party? It is very well evident. You know the kind of, Sandesh Kali, Shah Jahan, how did he?
How
What are the
many
kind
times,
of
how many
red carpet
times did
treatment was
Prime
given
Minister
when he was...
mention corruption? How
Come
many
on.
times did Prime Minister talk about
It is well
corruption
known. You don't have
Partha
to
Chatterjee
mention it. You don't have
or
to mention
recovery
it.
of money?
It
He
is
did
well
not.
known.
But
It is
the
well known.
421
Your
times he
party
mentioned
is
Muslim.
embedded with corruption.
421 times in Prime
So
Minister's
yes.
speech throughout
And
the
I want to
election
make a
rally, he
point here.
mentioned Muslim. And that
Shreya,
is
I
the
want to make a
point.
point.
If
Saying that
they
Trinamool...
were really so
Okay,
confident,
give me a
who
minute.
will-
Huh? Give me a
who is their
minute.
leader?
Tausif, just a minute.
The Bengal is waiting for a reclamation. I think we need to understand the political history. In 1952, the Calcutta South constituency returned Ms. Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, the Jansangh founder. And people may not know history. It was on Hooghly that Somnath Chatterjee's father won on a Bharat Jansangh ticket. So it was the original saffron state which became a red state, and now it has turned into a green state by Trinamool Congress, coming back to become saffron. Saffron was going to be painted, and the base was laid on 2019. 2021, some hiccups are there. From 2024, you will find the entire state getting saffronized.
Now,
And
there is
therefore, as
an
I
issue.
wrap this
There
show,
is an issue
Tushar
with
and
that.
Tessin, I want you to... नहीं, रुक जाइए. I'm completely over as far as time is concerned. I have 20 seconds each for Tushar and Tessin. Tushar, I'll go with you. How are
Yes.
if these exit poll numbers hold, how are these numbers and how is what is happening in 2024 impact India's election landscape, especially when it comes to the East and the South?
Well, this is going to be the first instance when the BJP will be dominating in the East and in the South. And, I think it was your show just a couple of months back where I discussed that there is a real possibility of BJP having more seats in the South than the Congress will have in entire India. So if these exit polls hold, or if some of the numbers of these exit polls hold, I think more than the BJP, the Congress has a lot of thinking to do. That will be the one major change in the electoral landscape of this country, that who is going to emerge going forward as the principal national opposition to the BJP. Because if Congress ends up with less than 45 seats, They'll have a severe internal party crisis that we can only speculate about right now. So I think that is the one change I'll be looking at in the India's electoral landscape.
Tessin, last word to you. 20 seconds.
India's landscape is all set to change. 15 years ago, we did not believe, none of us thought, the BJP would be governing 2 times in Haryana and Assam. Today, they're the number 2 party, if not the number 1 party in West Bengal and Odisha. This means very clearly that barriers that were unreachable for the BJP, that is East India and South India, started to crumble. A lot of people I see mock BJP saying, look, they may not get any seats in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and I believe they will get seats. But believe you me, with this gain in West Bengal and Odisha, the next gain for the BJP in the long term will be Kerala and Tamil Nadu. The problem is, those who are in power in these states, that is the opposition, cannot hold on to their ground, whereas BJP is breaching new ground. That, in my opinion, is problematic for the opposition, particularly the Congress. After winning Telangana, the Congress should have captured Odisha. But the Congress has let go of an opportunity in a historic space where the Congress always was a historical party. I think the Congress needs to wake up and look at this.
Okay. We'll leave it there for the moment, gentlemen. Thank you very much. We'll see what tomorrow holds. Tushar Gupta, thank you very much. Tessin Poonawalla, thanks very much. Nilanjan Da, thank you. Jaimukh, thank you. Tausif Ahmed Khan, thank you very much. JVC, thank you very much.